This is CTV News with Nafisa Kareem.
Want to pass the buck and have the taxpayers of BC prosecute the land defenders.
A battle in the woods moves to a Victoria courtroom as a logging company pursues higher charges for protesters.
For the blind community, this is just a great opportunity to actually be involved in the community and be just recognized like everyone else.
Blind ambition. A visually impaired curling team hopes to sweep their way to victory. Plus, Adam finds out what inspired a man to start singing every morning in the ocean. Later on the Sawatsky sign-off. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. A BC Supreme Court justice has been asked to consider whether activists in the woods of southern Vancouver Island could be charged criminally for allegedly breaching a court injunction. CTV's Anna McMillan was at the Victoria Courthouse today.
The primary focus in court today was whether the actions of anti-logging activists in the Walburn Valley could be considered criminal. RCMP began enforcement in late November. To date, about a dozen people have been arrested for allegedly breaching a court-ordered injunction, which bars anyone from hindering logging operations in the area.
You're under arrest for obstruction. Let's go. Take them. Take them.
Sawakin Forestry, the company at the center of this, applied to have BC's Crown Prosecution Service take over its private legal case against those who've been arrested.
They want to pass the buck and have the taxpayers of BC prosecute the land defenders in their private proceeding.
That's Jan.8, lawyer for several blockaders. Many of those arrested are charged with civil contempt of court. Sawakin's application seeks an assessment of whether there's evidence of criminal contempt, which carries more serious punishments.
We have the right to protest, and it is our mission to hold our government accountable.
Crown prosecutors explained contempt becomes criminal when a court order is defied publicly. Crown points to social media posts and news interviews from the blockaders as potential evidence of that.
This is an isolated dispute between the logging company and a handful of individuals, and it's not warranted to get the BC government involved through the Crown Prosecution Service.
In a statement, Sawakin says it has repeatedly asked blockaders to leave peacefully. As of late this afternoon, the court proceeding was ongoing. If a decision is made, we'll be sure to provide an update tomorrow. Nafisa.
Thank you, Anna. Friends have started fundraising efforts to help one of the surviving victims of a deadly house fire in central Saanich last week. According to a GoFundMe page set up by a friend, Kevin Williams tried to save his father, Keith Williams, from the fire. Tragically, the father died in the blaze. The son, Kevin, suffered severe damage to his lungs and hands and remains in hospital. The fire happened at a home on Genoa Place on January 3rd and took 25 firefighters from across the peninsula to extinguish. A third person was also in the home at the time and managed to escape without injury. The GoFundMe hopes to raise $18,000 to help Kevin through his recovery. The Port Alberni Fire Department is investigating an overnight blaze at an old mill site. The fire was observed from a distance and reported to the fire department around 10 p.m. last night, burning at the old APD mill along First Street in downtown Port Alberni. When crews arrived, the fire was burning on the exterior of the building, and mutual aid was called in from 3 surrounding departments. Crews tackled the fire for roughly 2 hours before finally extinguishing the blaze shortly after midnight.
The initial report from the on-duty captain was that the fire was spanning about 3 floors on the exterior of a building. So it was a pretty substantial fire, at least at the onset. It is an old sawmill building, so the other tricky part of that is that fire seems to make its way into voids and those sorts of structures, and so it was a bit challenging to try to get it fully suppressed, but we were able to do so with the personnel that we had on scene.
Nobody was inside the building at the time of the fire, and no firefighters were hurt. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. We are learning more details about an oil spill we reported yesterday in Nanaimo. The Ministry of Environment and Parks says upwards of 1,600 liters of diesel fuel leaked from an industrial site and into a City of Nanaimo drainage pipe, which leads to the ocean. The province has identified the source as a commercial waste operation. The outflow has been boomed and cleanup is underway. At this time, officials say no diesel has been seen outside the containment area. The province says they are at the site ensuring the company is taking action to clean it up. It has not confirmed which business is responsible. Police in Nanaimo say overall crime was down 6% last year in the city, with the exception of 2 areas. Theft from vehicles increased over 15%, while other property-related thefts, which includes areas like sheds, garages, and freezers, increased by 6%. Police say most of the thefts from vehicles happened in cars parked in local parkades, streets, and driveways. Criminals obviously prefer unlocked doors, but their second preferred means of getting into your car is by smashing windows, usually with a rock. Police say never leave anything in plain sight. Lock your doors and windows and park in well-lit areas near other cars when possible. At night, be a good neighbor and scan your street for unsecured valuables and remind your neighbors to lock them up. The sport of curling is a favorite Canadian pastime, and this week, curlers with visual impairments from across BC are on the island for a special tournament. CTV's Andy Garland shows us the game may look a little different, but the players still hurry hard.
Today and tomorrow, Campbell River is host to the Provincial Blind Curling Championships for the visually impaired.
There's only 4 teams in the province. Kelowna, Vancouver, Prince George, and ourselves are the only ones doing this right now.
Blind curling is a mix of curlers, with 80% who have degrees of visual impairment and 20% who are completely blind.
They're considered me legally blind, which is less than 10%.
I don't know what I'm shooting at, but I can see the light for a line.
The adaptive game is very similar to regular curling, but the scoring is a little different, and curlers get assistance from sighted guides as well as visual and audio aids.
The ones that are totally blind, we change it up and we use clickers and we use other means.
The hug line this end, they put a light there, and I shoot toward the light, and hopefully he's in line with where the skip is, which is 80 feet down the other end.
We have a designated sweeper on each team.
Campbell River has had a team for 4 years, and this is the first time they have hosted the provincials.
For the blind community, this is just a great opportunity to actually be involved in the community and be just recognized like everyone else.
A little more to the right.
The Westerns and National Championships are every other year, and this year the provincial champion will only have bragging rights.
My idea was to do a 2-year point system. There's no reason we can't take the points from this year, combine them for next year.
The team with the most points after the round robin ends tomorrow will be crowned provincial champs. Andy Garland, CTV News, Campbell River.
The future of the former capital Ironlands could be decided tonight by Victoria City Council. If passed, it could completely reimagine the Victoria neighborhood. The public hearing is set for tonight, along with the 3rd reading of the bylaw. These images are a rendering of what Reliance Properties is proposing over 2 blocks around heritage properties along Store Street. The Capital Culture District is a 4-stage master plan that includes space for light industrial work, housing, waterfront pathway, and the art gallery of Greater Victoria. The redevelopment, which could see multiple buildings ranging in height up to 14 stories, could take up to a decade to complete. The Saanich School District is set to launch a new locally developed course reflecting the voices and priorities of Indigenous student leaders and the Saanich community. In February, the new course will launch at Stelly Secondary School in central Saanich. The program is a collaboration between the school district and the Saanich elders, knowledge keepers, and community members. Students will learn about the local territory, teachings, culture, and history while using the local Indigenous language throughout the course. Now, the course has been approved as an Indigenous-focused graduation credit course by the First Nation Education Steering Committee. The way Canadians are flying is changing, with fewer planes heading south of the border and more heading to farther flung destinations. According to a new report from aviation firm Serum, shows Canada-U.S. flight volumes dropped more than 14% year over year. Passenger traffic between Vancouver and the Asia-Pacific region is up more than 15%. Experts say this trend isn't a short-term blip, but a consumer-driven shift that's having real impact.
This is one for the history books. This charge we've seen in terms of economic impact on the U.S. is not led by the government. This one's led by consumers, by you and I.
So 2025, we don't have final numbers, but it will be our busiest year on record in the history of the airport. So we're seeing more people flying. They're just flying differently.
With international travel continuing to grow, experts say Vancouver passengers should expect more overseas options as more demand as airlines keep redrawing the map. Still to come, from a humble job to global stardom.
Do you remember the last job you had before showbiz?
Yes, the old spaghetti factory.
Oh, yeah!
Yeah.
How a made-in-Canada show about rival hockey players falling in love is taking the world by storm. 4 degrees, a little bit of cloud on the horizon, and Lou will be here after the break with the full forecast.
CTV weather brought to you by Expedia Cruises, customizing dream vacations with unbelievable value. Call or learn more at expediacruises.ca.
What makes West Shore Parks and Recreation a perfect place to play? It's our staff, working behind the scenes to keep the pool safe, kids engaged, and programs thriving. So apply today and join our team.
Josh is off today. We're joined by Ann Lou. Ann Lou, I ask Josh all the time, what are you serving up in the weather buffet?
I'm serving up a lot of wet weather as we head into the weekend. Today, not too bad at all. We saw mostly cloudy skies pretty much across Vancouver Island. The change is coming, though, as you can see on our futurecast, starting tonight for the northern tip of Vancouver Island. Through the overnight, we'll see a line of rainfall, but then tomorrow morning for your early morning commute, cloudy skies with a few showers for most of the island, and then heading into the overnight hours, periods of rain, heavy at times, starting for the North Island, sliding down the whole island. It'll be wet on Saturday, as you can see, heavy at times as well by Saturday afternoon for Victoria. So for the North Island tomorrow, it'll be wet and windy with the winds gusting to about 70 kilometers an hour, 9 degrees, and then soggy right through the weekend into the start of next week, but warms up into the double digits between 10 and 11 degrees for the inland regions. It'll be gray, it'll be wet as we head into the next few days. The weekend, soggy periods of rain. Again, double-digit highs heading into next week for Monday and Tuesday with highs to 10 degrees. For the West Coast, tomorrow you'll see winds gusting to about 50 kilometers an hour along the coast, upwards of 70 kilometers an hour. Wet and windy for Saturday and Sunday. Rain continuing for Monday and Tuesday. Wet and windy tomorrow for Comox with the winds gusting to 70 kilometers an hour. Stormy conditions continue for Saturday with rain right through the week. Next week, and then heading into Nanaimo, you'll see wet and windy conditions to kick off the weekend. Periods of rain for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And for Victoria tomorrow, we'll see a high of 10 degrees with some showers. We will see wet weather continue for Sunday and Monday, clouding over as we head into Tuesday. CTV weather brought to you by Expedia Cruises for air, land, and sea vacations. So make sure you have your umbrellas handy right through until the weekend, Nafisa.
All right. Thank you, Anne. In Minneapolis, there is growing outrage after the fatal shooting of a woman in her car by an ICE officer. All of it caught on camera. The Trump administration quick to justify the shooting of the mother of 3. Others see the deadly incident differently. With more, here's Joy Malbin in Washington.
ICE go home! ICE go home!
Tensions are high in Minneapolis. Armed, masked ICE officers using pepper spray and what appears to be gas on protesters outside of a federal immigration building.
What did he do?
Demonstrators demanding ICE get out of their city after the fatal shooting of 37-year-old Renee Good, a mother and American citizen.
I watched in absolute horror as I saw a woman who was clearly trying to get away, gunned down.
Homeland Security says Good was blocking ICE agents with her SUV on disturbing video from several angles.
No!
She backs up. Agents shout and grab the door. She drives forward. As the car turns, shots are fired. Even before an investigation, the Trump administration, even the president himself, declared the shooting was justified, telling the New York Times Renee Good had behaved horribly. The vice president quickly blamed the mother, insisting a paid network of far-left radicals are responsible.
What young mother shows up and decides they're going to throw their car in front of ICE officers who are enforcing legitimate law? You've got to be a little brainwashed.
As mostly peaceful crowds marched, state and local officials blasted the Trump administration, saying the FBI has cut them out of the investigation.
People in positions of power have already passed judgment. It feels now that Minnesota has been taken out of the investigation. It feels very, very difficult that we will get a fair outcome.
Minnesota's governor again pleaded with the Trump administration to leave his state alone to de-escalate the situation. Instead, the president plans to send another 100 ICE agents in. Joy Malvin, CTV News, Washington.
There's a buzz on about a Canadian hockey drama, Heated Rivalry, a show described as shifting the conversation over inclusivity in sports, and it's become an international sensation in just weeks. CTV's Heather Wright now on the show's success and cultural significance.
Hudson, welcome to the show, Heated Rivalry.
Hudson Williams sat down on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon last night and cracked a Canada Dry. His Heated Rivalry character's beverage of choice, and a reminder of where one of the biggest shows on the planet comes from.
Is it sinking in how big this show is? No.
Showcasing the two most talked about prospects in the world.
Heated Rivalry, the breakout show about hockey rivals that develop an off-ice romance, debuted last fall, winning praise for its heartfelt depiction of LGBTQ2S+ relationships and sparking discussions about representation in both TV and sport.
To have this kind of a romance story portrayed inside the context of men's professional hockey at the highest level, I think will have an impact.
The show has exploded in popularity, the talk of group chats and Tinseltown.
You guys made amazing, original shows that everyone couldn't stop talking about until that gay hockey show from Canada came along.
And go ahead, Connor.
The show is an all-Canadian export, based on a book by a Canadian author, set in Canada, filmed in Canada, and produced by Crave, a subsidiary of Bell Media, which also owns CTV. Film critic Richard Krause says Heated Rivalry is an example that Canada can be more than just Hollywood North.
We're not just a production house for Hollywood productions to come here and shoot things. We can generate shows that can find a global audience.
Heated Rivalry has been picked up for a second season. That is the good news for fans. The bad news is that season 2 is not set to be released until next year. Heather Wright, CTV News, Toronto.
Coming up, sea songs. Adam finds out how a man in the ocean is inspiring people on shore through song. Next on the Sawatsky Sign-Off.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400. From your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Finally, Adam finds out how a man discovered a musical morning routine in the ocean on the Sawatsky Sign-Off.
Matthew Kirby had been walking along this beach for decades when one day the waves seemed to welcome him.
I was called into that ocean. I'm sure of that.
Called?
Yeah.
An invitation the retired teacher accepted, despite the cold.
It takes your breath away a little bit. It feels sharp.
It's bracing, before becoming unexpectedly embracing.
Because when I'm in the ocean, it is my great friend.
The first day, he could only stand the cold for 2 minutes. The next day, 4. But by the end of the week, Matthew is spending more than half an hour swimming in the ocean.
Coldness of the water actually frees me and allows me to think more clearly.
It's an opportunity to admire his current surroundings, reflect on his past adventures, and commune with the loved ones he no longer can.
I did often think about my father, and he used to sing to me when I was a boy.
So although Matthew had never previously considered singing in public before, he was inspired to do just that.
Waltzing Matilda.
It felt so good, he didn't stop.
Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling.
And for the past few years, no matter the season, Matthew sings about 20 songs every morning.
Hallelujah, hallelujah.
I sing because it's joyful, and I sing for myself.
Matthew never imagined that he'd also end up singing for strangers on shore.
Well, he's a wonderful singer, and I was harmonizing yesterday, but quietly to myself as I walk along.
While Asa Petrie is inspired to sing along, Arifin Graham observes how Matthew's musicality improves the moods of people passing.
He has this music inside of him which just keeps bubbling up, and it touches people, I think, in a very positive way.
And when we can be confronted by so much negativity by the end of the day, to know that you can begin the next morning in this way is a gift, Matthew says, that he accepts with a grateful song.
Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Oak Bay.
That is it for CTV News Vancouver Island. Thank you so much for joining us. Good night.